Welcome again at ISC West. This is Tammy Lear with you live at our studio, our SIA studio. I am with Mr. John Stroia. He's the Vice President of Government Security and Monitoring Solutions for Diebold. Yes?
Yes. Yeah.
Very good. And the company provides integrated technology solutions that enable customers to maximize their self-service and security capabilities. There's a lot that falls under this category. I've been very excited to speak with you, John,
Great.
Definitely, about this. Now, you're chair of the SIA Government Relations Committee. Tell us about the role that SIA's government relations activities have had in the security industry.
Sure. You know, it's our job to keep abreast of pending legislation and issues throughout the whole security industry and make sure we're advocating for the manufacturers and members of SIA.
Right, very good. So when you have any issues that might come up, do you analyze it at the level of looking at it, what does it appear to be, and then on the national level, globally, how it'll affect?
Correct. So we look at any state, local, or federal type of issue, and then the impact it has to the members of the association, be it, again, a manufacturer or an integrator, and how that potentially could affect their offerings or the safety and security of our customers.
What are some of the main issues, John, that you find the committee having to address for the most part at this stage in our lives? You know,
it ranges everything from you know, how the General Services Administration runs their procurement process through the government, all the way to how particular alarm legislation may work in a local community in terms of, hey, you know what, we're going to institute some kind of false alarm fee or you know, multiple call false alarm fee. So it's a pretty broad range of activities.
Right. So what is SIA doing to actively change some of those issues?
Yeah, so what we, first of all, one of the most important things to do is awareness. So we keep aware of all the pending legislation and changes and so forth. So, and part of that is just making the members of the association aware so that they can use their resources to talk to the local legislators, local congressmen, and so forth. And then, as a group, we try to talk to the federal government, state and local, representing an entire industry to say, hey, look, this impacts the entire industry in a certain way that maybe wasn't thought through beforehand. That's what you find most of the time. It's a particular law or activity that that they didn't understand the full consequences before they've pushed it through. So we try to help them understand that.
And that was my next question. You have a lot of people that have a perception saying that, okay, my business or my organization has nothing to do with the government. And that could have ramifications if they're not educating and aware. How people that don't deal with the government, are they still involved?
Absolutely. You know, there was some legislation not long ago surrounding batteries and battery life and how you classify that, where you wouldn't traditionally think, well, that doesn't have much to do with security, but every security panel, alarm panel, has a battery in it. So it even though it may not, the intention had nothing to do with security, it ends up impacting our business.
Now, there have been a lot of regulations and a lot of concern with security technology, such as different solutions that seem like solutions but also pose issues. What are some of those issues? And we have, you know, things such as the biometrics and the RFID. You know, what are your thoughts on that, and what have you found?
Yeah, so kind of one of the bigger areas of focus for the federal government in the last couple of years has been a consistent method of identification for all federal government employees and contractors. So that's had far-reaching implications on all the different kind of products in the security industry.
Right.
So it's caused changes in the product offerings, changes in the way you implement systems, impacts the kind of databases you use, things like that. So it's important for us to understand that, to let our membership know, so they can get up to speed with their products.
Do they feel they have a pretty good pulse on the market? Do you make education the primary commitment to first let them know why these standards are intact?
Correct. One of the things that's an important part of the Security Industry Association is keeping our membership aware of all these different facets through education, through outreach, through trade shows like we have here, so they can understand and make adjustments to their products and solutions.
Okay, and then last year, SIA released its privacy framework, and can you tell us about this document and what significance it has had for the industry?
Yeah, so again, I think the most significant impact it's had is that it is a voice of an entire industry. So it represented some of the largest customers, or the largest manufacturers integrators and supporters of the security industry really speaking with one voice. And I think that's the even more critical than the implications it'll have is that here's where the industries come together to put together a policy that's we're all united in that policy.
So when interpreting that, we have definitely people that have an opinion about the new standards, regulations, and when interpreting that and becoming that one voice, is that a pretty good pulse of the blend? It's hard to make everyone happy at the same time. Do you feel that you run into that sometimes?
Oh, absolutely. So there's times when there's some clear-cut activity that everybody's universally on the same page. And then there's other cases where there may be certain technologies or offerings by manufacturers that actually are favored by a change and maybe not favored by, it doesn't favor other manufacturers and technologies. So, and that's our job as an association to really take all that together and come up with something that's supportable by the whole
and do you
industry.
feel that voice, again, do you feel that if you just simply educate them and let them know why this is happening now, and that could always change, however, at this moment, this is where things stand based on...
Correct.
Right? Okay,
Correct.
Okay. And that allows people to embrace it a little more effectively?
Absolutely.
Okay. We have the ISC Government Relations Convention coming around the corner in June.
Yeah.
What can attendees expect to see from that particular convention?
Yeah, so we have a pretty exciting slate of speakers, and we really try to orient the agenda of the government summit around what's most current and topical for the time. So try to get a couple of great, just noteworthy speakers for timely kind of entertainment and focused on current issues and so forth. But also, some of the things we're focused on this year, there's going to be some pretty big changes in GSA. So we have some folks from GSA and some consultants that are going to come in and talk about that. There's a particular draft or a standard out there called FICAM, which impacts the credentialing and access control and identity for all federal employees. So there's a lot of confusion over that standard, so we're going to have folks come in and talk about that. So we really try to orient it around what's timely and what's
it impacts
topical.
a lot. One bit of technology comes with such a trail of education, standards, and it impacts, again, like you said, the federal workers in this case, they will be impacted. So it would be fair for them to educate themselves and pay close attention. So now would this convention be dense with that type of information, the technology, but also the standards that are around that technology?
Right, because it depends. Sometimes the standards, like a FICAM, will drive the technology.
Exactly.
Other times the new technology drives what ends up the standard. So it just depends.
Do you find yourself having to reject technology because of perhaps the lack of possibility to have such a stand? You know what I mean?
I think one example of that would be biometric technology. So it's great technology. It has clear-cut advantages, but then there's privacy issues around whether or not all types of biometric technology can be supported by the public. So again, an example where great technology, but is it overreaching the original goal? So.
Exactly. Very good. John, thank you for joining us. Really appreciate the information. Mr. John Stroia, VP of Government Security and Monitoring Solutions for Diebold, and he will be at the summit, so pay close attention to these goodies, okay?
All right.
Thank you, sir. Have a great convention,
Thank you.
And appreciate it. We'll
All
see
right.
you around.
We'll see you. Thank you.